Hey vinyl community, it's Dwayne Rock and Duck coming at you with another YouTube video. This time we're going to take a look at some recent mail order stuff I got in July and August. First up is a couple of releases from a label called Ancient Grease out of California, and they specialize in releasing obscure 70s hard rock stuff. First up is this one called Fresh Blueberry Pancake. The album was entitled Heavy, and it was released last year, the first official reissue. They're a Pittsburgh power trio. They recorded the demo in 1971 and only pressed 54 copies of it. So it was a really rare obscurity. And they were set to release, or they were going to go in the studio and cut a single for a major label in 1972, but their guitarist was in a serious motorcycle crash, and he couldn't play for a year. And then by the time he got back to playing, the company that had been originally interested in doing a single wasn't interested in it anymore. So they played around for a while and broke up in 1974. And this is the picture of the band. It's got the same original artwork as the demo they released, and comes with a little booklet, little history in the band, some pictures. So it's if you're into that early 70s hard rock stuff, I recommend this one. It's once again, it's demo, so it's kind of got the demo quality. It's not the best recorded, but it's pretty good. And some of it gets, in a few spots, gets kind of jazzy, but still a great album if you want to check it out. Also from the same label, a band called Sundazed with their 2023 reissue. Again, this is the first time it's been officially released, and it's from a demo recorded in 1972. They're a proto-metal band from Pasadena, California, and this demo was recorded at I believe it was Columbia Studios, and it was arranged by Kim Fowley, but they recorded the demo, and then it never got released. They weren't signed and never got released. And I like this one quite a bit better than I like that Fresh Blueberry Pancake. This one is heavier, a little harder driving than that one. And I like the vocals better on this one. There's a picture of the bass player, and there's a booklet in this one too. There's an interview with the bass player, the guy I just showed you, talks about the band and all that, and gives a little history. So highly recommended this album, Sudden Death. And I gotta give a big shout out to Ancient Grease. When I originally ordered that, they sent it, and I still haven't received it. It's got lost in the mail somewhere, and I let them know that I didn't get it, and the guy at Ancient Grease said, no problem, we'll just send you another set of the albums, and he did. And I got that about a week and a half later. which is great. Thanks a lot to Ancient Greece for doing that for me, but I still haven't received the original package, and I actually checked before I started this video because I have a tracking number, and I've been checking for the last couple of months, and it just says that it was received in Canada on May 4th. It's in transit, and it doesn't know when I'll receive it. It's been delayed. So I still haven't got it. But I did get some stuff from Sundazed, and I actually went to Sundazed because I was looking for a couple of things that I'd seen on Cosmic Brian's video channel called Cosmic Vinyl, and I'll try and put a link below for his channel. But he did a while back, he did a video about his 10 favorite garage rock bands, and he recommended a couple of things, so I went to Sundazed to check them out and see if I'd get copies, and got this one. This is one of them that he recommended. We the People, Too Much Noise. It's a 2008 compilation of single tracks released in the 1966 on the Challenge label, and they're a band from Florida, and this includes some tracks recorded for the label that were never released. So it's some tracks that appeared as singles and some unreleased stuff, and it's like Brian said, it's a great garage rock album. Highly recommended. And another one he recommended was this one by a band called the Preachers. And I don't know if you can see the sticker on here. It says savage, face-melting, fist-pumping garage punk. I guess that's a good description. This album is called Stay Out of My World. It was it's a 2021 comp. And the band is from LA, and it includes, again, singles tracks released in 1965 and some unreleased material. And the band disbanded in December of 1965 after their singer was drafted. So they were only together for about 18 months, but again, another great garage rock album recommended by Cosmic Brian. So check that out. And here's some more stuff I got from Sundazed. I was in there looking for those two, and then I saw some other stuff. I decided to get it. Hope the glare isn't too bad. I still haven't really opened these and listened to them. This is a band that I've heard about before. I've seen on some other YouTube videos, but I've never heard them before. So I saw this one on Sundazed catalog, and I decided to pick it up. It's H.P. Lovecraft live in 1968, and they're a Chicago kind of psyche, a bit folky in spots, and they relocated to San Francisco, and a lot of people, like I said, I've seen these on other people's videos, and they highly recommended it. So I decided to pick it up. I've never heard them before, and I listened to one side of this album, and it kind of reminded me of Jefferson Airplane with a lot more organ on it. And this was recorded in May 1968 at the Fillmore West. So that's H.P. Lovecraft live. There's a picture of the band on the back, a little blurb about them. Some more stuff from Sundazed. Saw this one This is a band called the Neanderthals. This album is the Modern Stone Age Family. It's a 2023 reissue. It's the first time on vinyl. And they're from, where are they from? They're an American kind of surfy, garagey kind of band. This is their second album, originally released in 1999, and features Eddie Angel, who's the guitarist from Lost Straitjackets. And I really like this one. I opened this one and listened to it, and I really like this one. So again, more on the surf kind of side of garage rock. And Sundazed has also released another one of their albums that's never been out on vinyl before, called the Neanderthals in Space, so I'm going to have to get that one. And couldn't go without getting a compilation. This is a double compilation called Potato Chip Crunchy Dunwich Garage. And this is a 2022 release on the Beat Rocket, which is a Sundazed subsidy label. And I guess I should open it. Like I said, it's a double album, and it's got tracks from the 60s Dunwich label. And oops, I have a little trouble opening this. It's got those sticky resealable packs, and they're hard to open sometimes. But it's got the inner jacket's got a write up about the bands, and each LP has one of these little cards inside, these inners that give you a brief description of each of the bands. And this one's a little different from most of the comps that I normally get. There's actually some bands on here that I know, like The Loved Ones, which was an all-female band, and the Delvettes, and the Shadows of Nights. And that's pretty much all the bands that I'm familiar with on here. There's some other bands on here also. Great compilation though. If you're into that garage stuff, which I am. And then I got a couple of 10-inch singles. They're not singles, but 10-inch LPs. And I like 10-inch LPs. I get them whenever I can if I find somebody I like. So I got this one. This is the Delvettes. It's a 2008 10-inch LP collection of singles recorded in the early to mid 60s. And they're another Chicago rock band who also had some tracks in that Dunwich compilation that I just showed you. And here's another band, the Druids of Stonehenge, self-titled 2010 10-inch release on, because it's still in a shrink, so it's, sorry about the glare. This is, they first formed in 1965 in New York, and they were just known as the Druids when they were in New York. And then in 1968 they changed their name to the Druids of Stonehenge and moved to LA, and they signed to the Uni label and released one album on that same year, 1968, on Uni, called Creation. But this is this 10-inch has tracks that are some of it was recorded in 65 when they were still the Druids, and most of that stuff is covers. And then there's 2 extra tracks on here that were recorded for the Creation album. Uh, 2 tracks that weren't released on that album, so it's on this thing. And they eventually split up in 1969 with only the 1 album release. So that's the Druids of Stonehenge. So I got some more stuff, this time from Caputa Records there from Portugal. And got the brand new Mr. Chups album. And they're a surf combo from Russia. And this album's called Adventures of Zombarella. There she is there. She's the bass player and does a bit of singing. And Guitargula, who is their guitar player. You always see him. I don't know why, but he never shows his face. He's always got most of his face covered up with the guitar. And any of the pictures you see of him, usually that's the way he looks. So this is like I said, they're brand new and it just came out a couple months ago. And they've been releasing a lot of stuff in the last couple of years. They've done a bunch of reissues of their older stuff and put out a couple of newer releases. One last year, and I think they did another one earlier this year, and this one. And they're touring right now. They've been touring pretty steady for the last year in Europe and the US. I think they're doing dates down in the US right now. So that's Mr. Chups, their brand new one. Also picked up this one, 3 LP set from the Nomads called Showdown, and it's a 2018 Spanish reissue on 3 LPs of it was originally released as a CD only, double CD, and getting some glare there. In 1994, and it's a compilation of tracks recorded from 1981 to 1993, and it's singles and rarities and that kind of stuff. And if you're not familiar with the Nomads, they're a Swedish garage rock band, and there's an inner jacket. It's got each picture's a different version of the band from a different year. And it also has a thing telling you about the band and each track. And the last one, I won't pull it out, but the one for the 3rd LP, the back of it tells you what all the tracks are and what they came from. And most of the tracks in that thing were from singles. Here's another one I picked up. I've been reading some stuff about them. The Stomach Mouse. And this album's called Speed Freak. And there's another Swedish garage rock band. One of the earliest out of the European garage rock revival of the 80s. And this is a 2023 compilation of some of their best tracks recorded between 1984 and 1987. And it's got an insert too with a picture of the band and then a little history of the band. Some pictures of Vampirella, the comic book character. The band again. And it's kind of a weird looking back cover, but there's the track listings. So that's the Stomach Mouse. And I've listened to part of this and it's really, really good. So another recommended garage rock band from Sweden. Picked this one up. This is a band called The Missing Souls, self-titled album, and this is a 2023 reissue of the only LP that they did. As far as I can tell, they're not together anymore, and it was released originally released in 2016, and this one has the LP plus 3 bonus tracks that weren't on the original LP. And this is a limited edition of 320 copies. And I went back to the website to see if I could find some information on it. So Caputa must be sold out of it already because I couldn't find it on their website. And that's where I bought it from. Anyways, this is the inner sleeve. It's got some posters, various gig posters, collage band pictures on the inside sleeve. This is another one that I really like. It's more of a, I don't know, it's kind of an R&B sort of band, and I listened to one side and a couple of tracks. There's one I actually thought was maybe a B-52's cover, because it sure sounded like it had a B-52's sound to it, but no, it wasn't a cover, but it's one of their songs, but they sure did sound like the B-52's on it. And there's another one that's like that, with the kind of a B-52 sound. Anyways, if you get a chance, I don't know if, like I said, it might be all sold out now, but The Missing Souls it's called, and it's says right here, 2023 reissue, 3 bonus tracks. And lastly, I picked up a couple of compilations. Anybody that listens or watches my channel knows how much I like compilation albums. And this is actually a compilation. It's called The Moon Was Full and So Was I. And it's a compilation of different bands that Jens Lindgren, Jens Lindberg. He's the guitarist and organist for the Maharajas. This is all bands that he's previously been in, and it's a compilation of tracks from all those bands, mostly demo tracks. Bands like the Blind Shag, the Maggots, the Infidels, the Friends, and of course the Maharajas. That's some early stuff from them, and a band called the Cliffhangers. And it's got an insert inside. He gives you a little history of the bands he's been in, and there's some pictures of the different bands he's been with. So again, this is more Swedish garage rock, and the Maharajas have a new album that they released this year. So if you like them, you can pick this up and see all the bands that their guitarist and organ player was in. And he was also in, although it mentions that there's no recordings on this when he was in the band, but he was also in a later edition of the Stomach Mouse. But there are no tracks from the Stomach Mouse on that compilation. And finally, the last comp here is the fourth volume just came out recently of the series, the Creature Cut series. This is volume 4, and again, these are this series is mostly obscure stuff from bands from the 50s and the 60s, and although this time there is a couple of bands on there that I've actually heard of, and two of them actually, Johnny Kidd and the Pirates and Curtis Knight. And if you remember Curtis Knight, he was kind of an R&B soul singer, and Jimi Hendrix used to play in his band. He's not on this cut, but he did play with Curtis Knight before he formed The Experience. So anyways, that's volume 4. And this is getting to be kind of a long video, so I'm going to try and just rush through this last stuff. The rest of this stuff is once again from, if you've seen my other videos, there's a store in Steinbeck, Manitoba, which I order stuff from regularly. And then usually once a month he sends me all the stuff I've ordered from him. And I got another shipment from him. Store's called Vinyl Experience, and some of the stuff I got, this one's kind of a grail. I don't like to throw that word grail around so much, but to me a grail is something that you've been looking for a while and haven't been able to find. It doesn't mean it's something that's super rare and all that, but this is a reissue. This isn't an original. This is Leafhound, their first album, Growers of Mushroom, and this is a 2015 reissue, still in the shrink with the 180 gram vinyl sticker. And this was originally released in 1971, and it's an early 70s hard rock classic. It's a super great album. And if you want to buy a copy of the original, there's one for sale on Discogs. One. And the guy's asking $6,000 for it. But if you don't want to fork out that kind of money, you could try and find one of these reissues. And these are even hard to find, and they're kind of pricey. This one was used, but in mint condition. I think I paid $40 for it. If you're looking for it new, you might pay $50 or $60 for it. And Peter French, the singer in this band, reformed band in the early mid 2000s, and released another album and a live album, but it was just him from the original band. None of the other members were in those two releases, and you can find those around too. Anyways, this one is the Grail find. Leafhound, Growers of Mushroom. And I also got an Italian pressing of the Sweet second album that was originally released in 1974. And this one, probably the most familiar track on this one is Sweet F.A. Got some Rubinettes. This is a self-titled album from 1975. It's their third album, and they're a British pop band. I'm kind of into that kind of stuff, so this is the first thing I've ever had by them. I've seen other stuff, but I finally decided to pick this up because it was cheap. It was $5, so I decided to get it, and I've listened to some of it, and I really like it. Picked up some classics that I'm trying to get back that I've had before and sold. Some Blondie, Eat to the Beat. Foghat, Fool for the City, with that track, and it also has their big hit off this album, Slow Ride. cars, Candio. Trying to pick up some of the car stuff. Got some AC/DC, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Then I picked up a few things that this one, wasn't a fan of these guys, but it was cheap and I decided to get it. It's a live album, so I figured I'd give it another shot, see if I like it. And I played some of this and it's all right. It's not really my thing. It's kind of acoustic and sort of that jammy kind of Grateful Dead kind of stuff. This is two of the guys that used to be in Jefferson Airplane, bass player and guitar player, I think. Yes. And have to listen to it, see if I'm going to keep it or sell it. But it's called Hot Tuna Final Vinyl. Maybe this was their last album, but it's a live album. And got this one. Wasn't into this, and like I used to hear the tracks from this on the radio, but I never liked it enough to buy it. But I decided to pick it up. This is an original copy. It's got that kind of textured sleeve. Same with the inside jacket. And it has all the songs on it. And I was looking at the back of this and realized she had a lot of hits on the radio from this album. Like I Feel the Earth Move, It's Too Late. What were the other ones? Oh, Smackwater Jack, and You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. So decided to get this, give it a listen, try it again. And here's another guy that I'm gonna give him a listen, try it again. This is his album with the song that he wrote. But most people will be familiar with the version that Janis Joplin did of Me and Bobby McGee. So I'll listen to this, see if I like his version. If not, I'll sell it. Anyways, that's all the stuff I got mail order recently. So once again, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please go down below and hit the subscribe and the notification. That way you'll get notified when I do another one, and the like button if you like this video. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Sorry, another long one. I've got another one to do from another trip I made to Edmonton, so I got some recent vinyl finds to show you in the next one, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you next time.